Live from the National Tally Center at the BICC in Lilongwe, this is Chipidiro Mtumodzi with the latest news update, and our sign language interpreter is Tausun Kamalata. To our top story, Chairperson for the Malawi Electoral Commission, MEC, Justice Annabel Mtalimanja, has called for patience from all the stakeholders, as it is the only legitimate organization to release the official results of the elections. Justice Mtalimanja was speaking during the electoral results update in Lilongwe. Mtalimanja said the organization will not be forced to release results as it has the time to scrutinize every vote from various councils. Justice Mtalimanja says MEC has now scrutinized and verified votes from 24 councils of the 36 councils in the country.
Timafuna tsopano tikambeko za mchitidwe umene ukuchitika. Mbuku kumapoyamba tikumbutsire kuti ntchito youlutsa zisankho tinapatsidwa pa malamulo masiku 8. Malamulo poyika nthawi imeneyi panali zifukwa choyambirira chikhale ngati chitetezo kwa voti ina iliyonse komanso ngati udindo kwa bungwe la MEC kuti zotsatira zonse tiziunikire modekha komanso kuti tiyang'ane moyenerera kuchita verify komanso kulongosola kapena kuchita resolve ma complaints onse. Panopa tili pa nthawi ndithu kunoko ku Tally Center pamene tikuti timalizitse ntchito imeneyi, koma timafuna titsimikizire komanso kudziwitsa mtundu wa Malawi kuti ntchito imene tikugwira ndiyofunikira. Tikufunika kuti tichite verify, tipange reconcile komanso kutsimikizira kuti zotsatira zimene tikuulutsa ndi zimene zachokera kuma polling station kwathu ndi mmene anthu anavotera. Ndikofunikira kuti ifeyo tikamalengeza tikhale kuti ntchito tagwira moyenerera. Komanso tidziwe kuti mkati mwa masiku 8 mmenemu ndiye kuti tikulandira madandaulo kuchoka dziko lonse, ndipo tikufunikira kuti dandaulo lililonse tiliyang'ane timvetsetse kuti pamene panalakwika pamene pakudandaulidwa ndi pati, ndipo wina aliyense tithe kumuyankha malingana ndi malamulo. Pachifukwa cha chimenechi sitingalengeze zotsatira mwaphuma. Tikufunika kuti tigwire ntchito malinga ndi mmene malamulo anakhazikitsira, kuti tikamanena kuti zotsatira zathu ndi izi zikhale kuti ndi zovomerezeka komanso.
Meanwhile, the Civil Society Election Integrity Forum, CSEF, has emphasized the need for continued transparency and accountability from the Malawi Electoral Commission as the country awaits election results. According to CSEF's chairperson, Benedicto Kondowe, the Commission must provide timely, clear and consistent updates while addressing all complaints and anomalies openly. Kondowe made the remarks at a press conference in Lilongwe. Additionally, CSEF has called on political parties to let MEC carry out its constitutional duties without interference or disruption, ensuring a smooth and credible electoral process. He explains.
There are 3 key messages that we thought Malawians needed to know. Number 1 is our continued call for institutional transparency in the conduct of the elections, especially now that we're at a critical juncture of voter tallying and determination. We believe that MEC has the obligation to be accountable to Malawians, and the allegiance is to the Constitution and the people of this great nation. So that is our first message. Our second message is that in whatever is done, either by political party or by the Malawi Electoral Commission, they must be directed at upholding their free will as reflected in the ballot that we had on 16. This is about Malawians determining who the next president should be. It is not about political parties or leaders imposing themselves. Malawians have spoken, and where we stand, nothing would change. It is the will of Malawians that will prevail. The third point is that conceding with due process does not show weakness. It shows a clear character of a true leader, a leader who is beyond the standard characteristics of a leader. And that's why we're emphasizing on due process, so that if a given political party or candidate legitimately wins, those that competed in these elections must be willing to concede. And it is gracious in our view, it is honorable to do something of this nature. So we believe that concession, legitimate concession, will help to sustain peace and democracy. Our view is that the Malawians are winning so far. Peace has prevailed, and this is historic. There could have been pockets of violence, but Malawians are patient, and we believe that our democracy is maturing.
Kondowe also appealed to political parties to stop threatening people that were working as their monitors, following reports that others wanted to commit suicide after being threatened that they didn't discharge their duties well during the elections.
Our view is that it is unacceptable, it's a violation of their rights, because this country is founded on the law, and the Constitution is the supreme law of the land, which guarantees different human rights. The monitors are a clear tool in an objective election, because their role is to make sure that there is transparency and accountability. And without monitors, you can't ascertain electoral integrity, and therefore they are crucial ingredients of our elections. And on that basis, they must always be protected. And that's why, as a Civil Society Elections Integrity Forum, we condemn such incidents. And we hope that the police will do the needful to investigate and arrest those who are responsible. Because if we don't do this, these monitors will not be willing to participate in the successive elections, come 2030 and beyond. And therefore, we must create an environment that allows Malawians to participate. And one way of participating in an election is not just a question of casting ballots, but the role of monitoring and observing is.
Legal expert Justin Donzi says the Malawi Electoral Commission quarantine of results from some councils is part of MEC's procedure to rectify anomalies that might have arisen in the processing of the results. MEC announced on Sunday the quarantine of results from certain councils. Donzi says the procedure is in accordance with Section 95, subsection 3 of the Presidential, Parliamentary and Local Government Election Act. He said although the law does not force MEC to provide detailed reasons for the quarantine of the results, it would be important to disclose the issues in contention for transparency purposes. He noted that the quarantine may impact the time frame of announcing the results, further noting that MEC can utilize the additional 3 days stipulated by law to resolve all the anomalies. He explains to our reporter Catherine Banda.
If a record from any district or other element necessary for the continuation and the conclusion of the determination of the national result of the election is missing, the chairperson of the commission shall take necessary steps to rectify the situation and may, in such case, suspend the determination of the results for a period not exceeding 72 hours. Section 95, subsection 3 mandates the chair to take necessary measures, and such measures would be or may include quarantining. So where there are suspicions or where the commissioners don't quite or think that there is a problem with a particular state of results, then they are mandated to quarantine as one measure in order for them to duly assess the situation and determine the results. In terms of the section 95, subsection 3, the commission is not compelled to disclose the reason. However, one of the fundamental principles for the conduct of elections is transparency, which means that if one abides by that principle, the commission should or ought to disclose the reasons why results from certain areas have been quarantined, except in cases where such disclosure might lead to eruption of violence.
Finally, in sports, emotions ran high at the Europa Sports Arena in Gibraltar as the Junior Queens claimed a dramatic 52-51 victory over Fiji in their second Group B match at the ongoing Netball World Youth Cup. The win sealed with the very last shot of the game, sent the Malawian side into wild celebrations and kept their quarter-final hopes alive. Wesesa Shira reports.
The Junior Queens started brightly, taking a 15-11 lead in the first quarter, giving fans hope of another comfortable win after their opening triumph against Trinidad. But Fiji refused to back down, dominating the second and third quarters to establish a 5-goal cushion, heading into the final break with a 41-36 advantage. With the defeat looming, coach Noah Musa made tactical changes, bringing in Idesi for Alinafe in wing attack and restoring Florence Jeke to her natural goal attacker role after earlier switches. The adjustments paid off, sparking a fierce fight back that turned the match into a tense end-to-end contest. And with just 2 seconds left on the clock, team captain Stella Matelezi kept her cool to slot home a decisive penalty shot, handing Malawi a famous 1-goal win. The final whistle was made with tears of joy, hugs and even players roaring on the court as teammates, reserves and technical staff rushed in to celebrate a hard-fought triumph. Captain Stella Matelezi praised her teammates' never-say-die spirit, describing the win as proof of the team's resilience and determination in the face of adversity.
Yeah, it's hard because on the quarter that you're talking, we had so many turnovers that we need to improve. So in the coming quarters, we had to improve. In the last quarter, there was so much pressure that our girls didn't give up until we win.
The Junior Queens return to action on Tuesday, the 23rd of September 2025, against their Southern African rivals, the Bebes Parodias, at 7 p.m. local time. Victory could see them set up a quarter-final clash with Cook Islands, while defeat may see them play against tournament giants New Zealand. Wesesa Shira, Euro Sports Arena, Gibraltar.
And just to make a correction there, the game between Malawi Junior Queens and South Africa will be played from 5 p.m. local time today and not 7 p.m. tonight, as indicated in the report. And that's it from our newsroom. Stay up to date with our election news coverage on all our digital platforms. From Mwachidziwikire Tumodzi and our sign language interpreter, Tauson Kamalata. Have a lovely afternoon.